This episode brought to you by Stamps.com. Why go to the store to get stamps when you can have them printed right at home for your convenience? Also brought to you by Freshly. Stop stressing about dinner and have it delivered right to your home today. Hi guys, it's Neve, and it's Catfish's 10th year. We've exposed some crazy stories over that time. True, we're still stuck at home, which makes it a little difficult to come across as exciting, but we're ready to have our most shocking season yet. So buckle up, this is Catfish. Hi everybody, Neve here. Cammy is out today talking to the show's producers.
You give that makeup brush its own show or you're fired!
But that's why we have a special guest host, Benny.
What is up?
Now everybody tells me you're really good at finding people, right Benny?
Parts of them, yes.
That invites no follow-up questions. Let's get down to business. This is Nostalgia Critic.
I remember it's
been playing the popular online game VR Chat, but he thinks someone isn't telling the truth. Isn't that right, Critic?
So you don't have to. Yes, Neve! Have you played the game before?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's only the most groundbreaking experience ever!
Really? And what's so groundbreaking about it?
Every character you can imagine is there. Street Fighter characters, Disney characters, superheroes. It's the most mind-blowing thing ever!
Well, that sounds amazing, Critic. And do you go on missions with them or work off their personalities?
No, they're just avatars. Lifeless skins for other people to use.
Well, why is that groundbreaking?
Why are you such a dick?
Bottom line, you're talking to a mystery woman, yes?
Oh, yeah. I only met her a few times, but I totally confessed my love to her.
After seeing her a few times.
Yeah, here's her profile. She's just my type. I really got along with her, but I feel like something's up.
You don't know who this is?
Well, we'll look into this, Critic, as this might be the most shocking reveal in Catfish history.
But it probably won't.
Or it could be the most shocking reveal in Catfish history.
I promise you it won't.
As shocking as how awesome VR Chat is.
Okay, seriously, Critic, what is with you in VR Chat?
Well, after Ready Player One, I realized what awesome was supposed to be.
Okay, he's doing the review.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
I mean, that's what the hype was like at the time. In the past 10 years or so, character crossovers and universes have taken on a whole new level. Yes, some have crashed and burned, but others you would assume would have crashed and burned have become their own unique brand of blockbuster masterpieces. So in 2018, the director of several blockbuster masterpieces, Steven Spielberg, decided to throw his hat into the ring adapting the hit 2011 book Ready Player One. Well, I'll admit I haven't read the book, I do know that people are rather split on it. Some say it's an amazing fun piece of pop culture utilizing pop culture. Others say it's a dated, soulless mess. Whatever strong emotions one has, they usually are strong emotions, where the cinematic adaptation usually has the same reaction, which is people were hyped when they saw the trailer and an unbelievable amount of copyrighted characters all together in the same film. So why do few folks talk about it? I'm sure it has its fans and its haters, but you know what I'm talking about. Tons are still gushing over Spider-Verse, Wreck-It Ralph, Lego Movie, the MCU, and DCEU. I just reviewed Roger Rabbit a few weeks ago, which Spielberg produced, and it's still amazing on so many levels and being discussed. So why isn't this one? It's a question I've had for decades, okay 3 years, but I still want to analyze why. So while our sleuths look deep into our Catfish scenario...
Alright, Critic, we're starting our investigation.
Really?
Actually, our producers figured it out weeks in advance.
But we haven't figured it out yet.
Maybe you haven't.
Let's take a look at Ready Player One. Well, let's go to 2045 me to see if this film is dated. Whoa, I should have laid off the McNuggets. Actually, to Spielberg's credit, one of the things he likes to do is research future technology. So in films like this, or Minority Report, there are a fair amount of devices that can and are currently being developed. What isn't developing though? Spielberg's gray sandpaper cinematography.
People stopped trying to fix problems and just tried to outlive them.
Yeah, ever since Private Ryan and AI, Spielberg has become obsessed with this grainy, saturated, over-backlit style that, I'm just gonna say it, looks like shit.
Sitting here in my tiny corner of nowhere, protecting my small slice of nothing.
In Private Ryan, it makes sense. Everything is supposed to look gritty and dirty. And in AI, you could argue he's emulating Kubrick's style. But even Kubrick threw in some color that popped when he did that. This looks like a flashlight shining through used toilet water. It's not aging well.
I was born in 2027. My parents, they didn't make it through those times, so I live here in Columbus, Ohio with my Aunt Alice.
Now I know this is science fiction. They're running out of room in Ohio. This is Wade, played by Tye Sheridan, the poor schmuck who's never given a personality even when he's in the lead. But we'll get to that in a bit. He, like most people in this universe, escaped reality by going to a virtual world known as the OASIS.
It's a place where the limits of reality are your own imagination.
Yes, escape that ugly, bland, overly cluttered reality to this ugly, bland, overly cluttered virtual world. Starting to see why this style bites.
You can do anything. Go anywhere.
Wow, these places look amazing. I hope we spend most of our time in generic locations we've seen in a million other things.
Surf a 50-foot monster wave in Hawaii. You can ski down the pyramids. You can climb Mount Everest with Batman.
Honestly, all of these sound more interesting than the actual story we're given. And yeah, I'm sorry, I know this review is kind of top-heavy, but the problems with the film are surprisingly prominent early on. The specialty of Spielberg, and even his friend Zemeckis for many years, has usually been spectacle. They wowed us with great stunts, great effects, and showing us what we thought was impossible on the big screen. It's like our lead said, the only limit was your imagination. But that's the problem. So many barriers have been broken down because of them that everyone can use their imagination. So you have to try a lot harder to stand out now. I'm sure this would have looked amazing in the 90s, but this is supposed to be video games 30 years in the future, and they honestly look like video games now. Technology is said to double at least every year. That's why Spielberg's work with strong stunts, ideas, and main characters still hold up. Here, the stunts are all CG, the ideas are already dated, so how about the main character? Well, I'll let you know when I actually see a main character, as all this kid does is brag about how much he loves another character.
I don't want to make any more rules. I'm a dreamer.
Almost every line of dialogue is talking about the guy who made the OASIS.
His favorite food was Hot Pockets. Favorite restaurant was Chuck E. Cheese. He was like a god. Can you fast forward to the stuff about Halliday's date?
This girl he's attracted to, who's just as bland as him.
Artemis, goddess of the hunt. Artemis gets me. I think it's Artemis. Artemis said it, and she's hot.
I've seen all her walkthroughs, her Twitch streams.
Or random references.
Lex Luthor. The Holy Hand Grenade. Valley Forge from Silent Running. Thriller. Ridgemont or Faber.
He quotes things left and right, but I don't know what they mean to him or why they're important. He just says them. There's nothing Wade does that has me saying, that's something Wade would do. That's so Wade, that's a Wade move. And don't get me wrong, I'm fine with blank slates if they make them memorable, but there's nothing memorable about this guy. He just talks about how much more interesting everything else is around him.
What would Halliday say? His favorite quote was from Superman. Halls of Halliday's memories are left to people like me.
Part of your past are you trying to escape, Halliday?
It'd be like if Kim Possible just talked about how cool Monique was, and that's it. You don't need to be Shakespeare, but you do need a soul.
On January 7, 2040, he died.
Speaking of which, the developer of the OASIS passes away and says he'll give his stock and control of the OASIS to whoever can find these hidden keys.
First person to find the egg will inherit my stock, valued in $500 billion worth.
Class dismissed.
Naturally, this gets the attention of a lot of people, including a big, bad businessman named Sorrento. He's in it for the money, not the science. He sends his minions to try and win the first challenge, which is a race that has, look, things you recognize!
Fuel's low.
Oh, but you still have enough to pay for that something about Mary hairdo.
Even in 2011, I don't think anyone was referencing that.
H, are you seeing this?
That's Kaneda's bike from Akira.
Hey, remember Robot Chicken when all these fictional characters would pop up and they interact off each other and it was fun? This is nothing like that. The characters show up, and that's literally it. I'll admit, it's neat to see all these things for a minute, but the novelty wears off pretty fast. It'd be cool if you could interact with Doc Brown or Tetsuo instead of driving their vehicles, but I guess just acknowledging they exist is enough. Nobody has ever beaten this race that would lead to the first key, but Wade does make a pal with Artemis, and he introduces her to his best friend, H.
Where'd you find an Iron Giant?
Find it. I'm building it.
Oh my god, cool! It's gonna be so awesome to form a bond with him like in the movie. He just smashes shit, doesn't he? Because that's what that film wanted you to take away. He was all about the violence.
I am not a gun.
Laser gun their asses, yeah!
James Halliday's favorite first-person shooter.
GoldenEye. His favorite quote was from Superman.
Others can read the ingredients on the back of a chewing gum wrapper and unlock the secrets of the universe.
Cool.
Awesome. We both have no identities. I hope years from now generations quote this film quoting other films. Wade's real life isn't too glamorous as he lives with his aunt, who, of course, dates shitty men.
You couldn't have beat them in a boot suit, you noob.
Insult me again and I'll hit you for real next time!
Wade Watts. My dad picked that name because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego. Halliday hated making rules. Why is that line sticking in my head?
It's funny. I talked about Roger Rabbit and how good its world building was without having to talk too much. But here, everything is talking. And yet somehow I still don't feel like the Oasis has that much an identity. Compare the visual exposition of Eddie's connection to his brother to the onslaught of narration from this film.
Yeah, that's me. Well, that's my avatar, until I feel like changing. H is my best friend in the Oasis. He's my best friend, period. Even though I've never actually met him in the real world. It's just so painful for him to have to see her face or hear her name. I've always felt that the biggest clue to the contest was hidden. The challenge is to find 3 keys, but in 5 years, no one has even gotten 1 key.
The phone. Halliday went on a date.
Maybe it's because she called me out. Or maybe it's because that line means—
Shut up! Wade checks out a museum of memories to see if he can find some clues to Halliday's game. I like these scenes because Halliday is the only character who seems passionate about something. We actually see why these references connect with him.
I liked how things were when it was a game.
But that's the point, isn't it? Things move forward, whether you like it or not.
You want to obsess over old stuff, make a web series ruining things people love. Preferably in a hat and tie.
Why can't we go backwards for once?
Wade picks up on something he said about going backwards, and it finally hits him to go backwards in the race, which of course is the correct move. Okay, I don't know what life is like in 2045, but if this existed today, minimum 3 people will have tried this on the first day. Obviously, there's gonna be some trolls if anyone can enter, especially if all you have to lose is Bitcoin. Yet it takes them 5 years to figure this out? Does anybody in this movie internet?
Nice racing, Padawan.
He of course gets the key as his friends figure out what he did and get theirs as well. But the big bad businessman Sorrento, who literally dresses like a big bad businessman in the virtual world too, uses a sneaky spy named IROC, it's a TJ Miller role so of course he's called that, to figure out how to get rid of Wade. And yeah, I won't lie, that skull body is pretty badass.
How are you? To be honest, I have kind of a neck thing. It's like a carpal tunnel. So if you could just stand to your right, my right, your left.
I'll even give credit that TJ Miller is pretty funny in this.
That's what I like about you, Nolan. You never lick. You bite straight to the chocolatey center of the Tootsie Pop.
Alright, that's pretty good.
Remember that old commercial with the owl?
And the extra dialogue for the Flash did. Well done. Wade becomes famous, but Artemis, dressed as Goro, gives him help in disguising himself.
Clark Kent glasses. They hide your identity without changing your look.
Wait, can't he change his avatar? He said it was temporary.
That's my avatar, until I feel like changing.
But now that everyone knows who I am, I'll keep it? World building! Oh, who cares? Artemis asks Wade out because they have so much in common. Well, one thing, they like circle jerking over Halliday.
Halliday actually wanted a date.
Halliday purposely removed every mention of her.
He should have told her how he felt.
He missed his chance.
A Halliday Pornhub fanfiction forum wouldn't talk as much about him. And H says he better watch out because he may be a dude.
She could actually be a 300-pound dude who lives in his mama's basement in suburban Detroit. And her name is Chuck.
Whoa, I was fine with the 300-pound guy in a basement, but Chuck? It's not even a proper Charles. He meets her at the club where they really open up and talk about what they want out of life. Of course not, they just talk about Halliday and references.
So Halliday's the creator.
Who hates his own creation.
And the club is the thing he hates.
I like Buckaroo Banzai!
Oh, thanks!
Okay, I know the idea is they're talking about Halliday so they can find out more about him and win, but seriously, there's a difference between listing the things you love and listing why you love them.
Old school!
Yeah, literally. Literally everything is old school. Why would that make you stand out?
Maybe it'd be cool if we met up in the real world.
Nah, you'd be disappointed.
I like you.
You don't even know me.
Maybe if the camera constantly moves, you'll confuse it for you being moved.
I'm in love with you.
They're spotted by the big bad corporation, though, and they attack.
Watch out!
Not to steal Simpsons' line, not that this film would mind, but why? Why were they programmed to feel pain? Waithe uses honestly a clever send-up to get out of the situation.
Zemeckis cube. Turns everything back in time, 60 seconds.
Not sure why a multi-billion-dollar corporation doesn't have something like that, but I have no second half to that sentence. They escape, but Artemis reveals she has a plan to take down the loyalty centers. Yeah, almost an hour in, maybe now's a good time to give one of these characters a purpose.
My dad died in a loyalty center. He built up debt. He moved in with the promise of working it out, but he never did.
Okay, she's still pretty boring, but at least now this character has a reason to exist. Which kinda makes you wonder why they just make the story about her and ditch Junior Meme Generator. Well, then you wouldn't have his exciting journey of finding a personality. No, really, that's kind of it.
No, you don't live in the real world, Z. From what you've told me, I don't think you ever have. You live inside this illusion.
But, yo, Adrian, wow, I really do have nothing. So you're probably wondering what the big, bad businessman's evil plan is. Actually, it's pretty funny. He wants to put ads everywhere. Honestly, that's a good villain for something like this.
We can sell up to 80% of an individual's visual field before inducing seizures.
Why do I feel like meetings at EA are similar to this? But here's the problem. It's not aware this is funny. It thinks it's serious, so it plays it serious. And not even overly serious in a way that could be ironically funny, it's just boringly serious.
A game decides our fate. The only question is how far are we willing to go to win it?
I'm playing this part because Ronnie Cox is too old and amusing. And I get it, he's supposed to be boring, but there's good boring and bad boring. Good boring would be the children's host and Mrs. Doubtfire.
A carnivore.
It's entertaining how boring he is and convincing in this world. Bad boring would be Keanu Reeves in Dracula.
I was impotent with fear, but sir, I know where the bastard sleeps.
That's not entertaining or convincing. This dude is Keanu Reeves from Dracula. Which is one of the weirder phrases I've said in a minute.
When you're at war, you need people who are loyal to a fault. People you can count on to get things done.
If he, say, liked a lot of this media but for the wrong reasons, that would be interesting. Like, let's say he liked RoboCop but rooted for the corporate bad guys. That would be fun, and again, tie a lot of these pointless references to the characters' personalities. But no, he's just a stick in the mud who takes himself too seriously. The same way the movie, ironically, is taking itself too seriously. The only time they kinda have fun with him is showing how out of touch he is with the kids.
Convert all the schools to replicas from the Breakfast Club.
Ridgemont or Faber?
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, not John Hughes.
I think we just saw how Spielberg directed half of this movie. The only downside is the guy whispering secrets in his ear was a writer for Big Bang Theory. By the way, gotta love how he leaves his password on a post-it note and even invites Wade to take a closer look. At first I thought this was so stupid maybe it was a trick to fool Wade, like if he enters that code something bad will happen to him or something. But no, the CEO of this corporation is really that dumb.
You think I'm a corporate asshole, that I don't appreciate pop culture, but man, that's not true.
I have black vehicles and fruit carts to destroy for our 90s climax. I legit dig this one bit of directing where they only edit their real faces talking to each other, almost like they're in the same room. It makes the conversation feel more serious when they feel like they're closer. It's a surprisingly subtle touch.
You really think that anyone's gonna give a damn about an explosion in some ghetto trash rat barn in Columbus?
But Sorrento shows he means business when he blows up his aunt at the Jenga trailer park. Oh no, he had a scene with her. I'm so heartbroken. It's okay, you'll forget she existed as fast as Wade does.
Artemis, IOI came for me in the real world.
I have no line to reference, I have to think for myself, and I don't know how to do it! He's abducted, though, by a guy who wants a modeling career? Oh, to chloroform. For the pouty henchman. And it turns out he works for Artemis, who's really named Samantha, played by Olivia Cooke. You held that knife in a weird way. You're a bizarre henchman. So, what's the big secret she's been building up? She's not a man. She's not ugly. She has a birthmark that you'd confuse for a sunburn. I slept on pillows that left a bigger imprint than that.
I'm not disappointed.
You don't have to pretend.
You have a birthmark. So what? Why would that scare me?
No, I think he's legit asking, why would that scare him? Oh, it's so our forgettable hero can look virtuous, but we can still cast a hottie, which Olivia Cooke is weirdly being typecast as. Oh, well, I moved.
Okay, Critic, we discovered who Hyper Fun Girl is.
Oh, go.
So Hyper Fun Girl is actually...
Hi, Critic. Did you really not know it was me?
Now I see you were keeping your identity from me because of your deformity.
What? Oh, you mean my Zak?
I want you to know I am not disappointed.
Well, yeah. Why would you be?
So you have a disfigurement that lesser people than me would find appalling. Why would that scare me?
I don't know. Why would that scare you?
Yes, I am brave, and I truly believe we can make this work.
Critic, you know that I'm married. I've made it very clear that I am not interested in you anymore.
But if I attach my lack of identity to your hamburger forehead...
It's on my cheek.
We can come out of this looking brave together.
Look, Critic, we usually deal with people who lie about their sex, finances, or physical appearance.
Well, it's a good thing you found someone as selfless as me to accept Mount Corned Beef here.
Okay, this guy's garbage.
I tried to tell you.
We're never airing this episode.
I understand. Not everyone can bear to look at her.
Hey!
Get some real problems, you man baby.
Yeah, and never call me again.
Well, I guess it's just you and me, Benny.
I'm looking up the messiest gun on the market.
Good idea. People may come after us after associating ourselves with her. So, how do you think he died?
Isn't it obvious, new partner?
No.
He died from excitement.
What could excite him that much?
Clearly, it's Stamps.com. This summer is showing welcoming signs of more normal life ahead. Finally, you can get back to enjoying life's little pleasures like smiling at your neighbor, seeing a movie, and whoa, not going to the post office.
What? Why not?
Because it's a hassle. But with Stamps.com, you can skip trips to the post office and save on postage.
Does that mean you can mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right from your computer?
This is a weird thing to talk about at a crime scene, but yes, you can send letters, ship packages, and pay less. A lot less. With discounted rates from USPS and UPS.
Wow, Stamps.com saves businesses thousands of hours and tons of money every year, don't they?
Yes, and it personally saves me tons and tons of money. Stamps.com brings the same US Postal and UPS shipping services right to your computer. They make it easy for small businesses to mail and ship without needing to take a trip to the post office.
I bet they can print official US postage and shipping labels 24/7 without having to leave your desk or buy any fancy equipment. All you would need is your computer and a standard printer.
That's some good guessing there. Once your mail is ready, just schedule a pickup or drop it off. It's that simple.
Why, Stamps.com is a no-brainer, saving nearly 1 million small business owners like you time and money.
How'd you know I had a small business?
Crime is your business.
I can make that work, you can't.
Sorry.
But they do offer deals you can't get anywhere else, like up to 40% off USPS and up to 66% off UPS shipping rates. And with their switch and save feature, you can quickly compare carriers to find the best rates every time.
I should stop wasting time going to the post office and go to Stamps.com instead.
There's no risk. And with the promo code, Nostalgia, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week free trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts.
Well, I'll just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Nostalgia.
You're gonna go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Nostalgia?
Yep.
Good man.
With Stamps.com, I'll never go to the post office again.
Oh no, you blew up. That happens to my partners. Oh well, let's see what this guy has in his fridge. Oh, how about that? Freshly. Oh, I wish my partner was here to banter with me. Oh, what the heck, I'll banter myself. Dinner time can be chaotic. But with Freshly, it's easy. Their chefs take care of your meals a few nights a week and take the pressure off you. We're all trying to get in shape and eat right. Freshly can help. Their delicious meals are designed by nutritionists and cooked by chefs, making it easier to eat better. Stressed, tired, just don't feel like cooking? Food that's fast doesn't have to be fast food. Freshly offers quality meals without the hard work of prepping, cooking, and cleaning. But partner, how does it work? I'm glad you asked, partner. That definitely wasn't me. Freshly offers chef-made, nutrient-packed, delicious meals delivered fresh to your door. No cooking required. Grocery shopping and cooking can be a pain, especially right now. And with Freshly, you don't have to. Your meals arrive cooked and fresh every week, so you can keep your fridge stocked and skip the trip to the store. Why, it sounds like ordering is easy. Indeed, partner who didn't blow up. Visit Freshly.com and choose from over 30 delicious, satisfying, better-for-you meals like steak peppercorn, sausage baked penne, or their chicken pesto bowl. Freshly can fit your lifestyle with a variety of plans and meals to pick from that work for your dietary needs, preferences, tastes, and family size.
You can try Freshly for just $6.16 per meal.
Indeed, partner, that's not sounding like Scooby-Doo. Stop searching the internet for healthy food near me every night and start living like Freshly. Your meals are always delivered fresh, never frozen, and are ready to heat and enjoy in just 3 minutes. With new meals added each week, Freshly brings the convenience of chef-made, nutritionist-designed classics right to the kitchen. Right now, Freshly is offering viewers $40 off your first 2 orders when you go to freshly.com/nostalgia. Stop stressing about dinner. Go to freshly.com/nostalgia for $40 off your first 2 orders. That's freshly.com/nostalgia for $40 off your first 2 orders. Eat well without having to leave your home, which this guy isn't.
That's a good joke you told her.
Oh god, I need friends.
So Samantha works with Wade in the place I think Candyman came from and tells him all about the Resistance. Again, what this movie probably should have been about, but there weren't enough Ferris Bueller quotes they could work in. So, fill us in on this uprising.
Oh shit!
Jesus!
Second clue, I know what it means.
Okay, never mind. We have to do what Spielberg loves most. Imitate Kubrick. They enter a recreation of The Shining to find the next key, and yeah, I'll be honest, this scene's pretty awesome. It wasn't in the book, and you can tell because Spielberg clearly has a passion for it. You know he has a love and even understanding of this material. But it isn't just recreating shots either, that would have been lame. It's capturing the atmosphere while also combining it with a video game type setting, giving us 2 polar opposite styles that combine in a very amusing way. This is what the film should have been doing. Don't just show us Goro, put us in Mortal Kombat. Don't just say Batman's climbing a mountain, show us how he would do it if he was really there. This is fun, clever, and imaginative. More, please. Okay, we don't need to enter the Ghostbuster reboot, we can skip that. They get the other key by asking Halliday's girlfriend to dance because Halliday regretted never making a move on her. But the big bad corporation finds them and captures Samantha, putting her in the same labor camp they put her dad in.
Lay those charges every 6 feet.
You know, if it's a virtual world, what do they need physical labor for anyway? Can't they just program it? Wouldn't it make more sense to force them to be programmers? Wade meets up with H in the real world, who it turns out is a woman, played by Lena Waithe. Get it? She was telling Wade Artemis would be a different sex, yet she was a different sex. Was this a big twist in 2011? Catfish was out by then, right? Well, maybe the other reveals will think more outside the box. The excitable little ninja is a kid, okay, no big shock. And the good-looking badass martial artist is a good-looking badass martial artist. If this is what's surprising in 2045, then Ned Flanders fused with the future from Demolition Man. Sorrento sets up a force field around his virtual headquarters, and I will admit, for saying the references were getting old, using the magic words from Excalibur is pretty amazing. Though minus 2 points for not having it memorized, who do you think you are, the CEO of a business empire? Oh, speaking of which, they do hack into his account. Yeah, they don't change the password daily. A Reddit blog could take this business down. And they trick him into thinking a simulation is his office.
You gotta put that gun down.
You killed my mom's sister.
Someone who gets paid only to write wrote that.
You killed my mom's sister.
She was related to my father's wife, the sibling to the sister who's the daughter of her mother. Who talks like that? I guess the same people who talk like this.
So he really doesn't know he's the OASIS?
Oh, I don't know. Did you basically find a way to rewrite the line as you know? Oh, and they don't stop there. They explain it like 3 times to make sure you don't get confused.
So he really doesn't know he's the OASIS?
This is what we're making him see. He thinks he's back at his office in the real world, but actually, he's here.
So you basically just remotely hacked his rig.
His password is on a post-it note. Nothing matters. Wade gets Samantha out and makes a big speech to all the OASIS talking about the evil plan Sorrento has in mind. And if there's anything I do believe in this film, it's that millions of users will fight to stop more ads being put on their content. The only limit is your imagination. So let's fight on a cloudy, colorless mountain setting that a screensaver would reject because it's so boring. You know, it's interesting. If I was to take two of these random characters, like let's say Battletoad and Chucky, and put them in a fight together, that'd be fucking awesome. But if you were to take dozens of characters I recognize, put them in a fight, and swing the camera around like a drunken drone trying to learn how to jerk off, it's pretty goddamn boring. I can't make out half of this. What am I supposed to do? Rewatch them and see all the characters I missed? Ooh, the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles. Man, these guys sure understand fandom. Even when I do recognize characters I like, what does it matter? It's not really them. Their personalities don't come with them, so why is it exciting? But I'll fully admit, sometimes it can be a little neat. Iron Giant fighting Mechagodzilla interrupted by a Gundam? Pretty badass. Saving your PG-13 F-bomb for Chucky, even though it's phenomenally forced?
Fucking Chucky!
Still kinda badass.
Samantha, you know I love you.
We've known each other a whole not even a week. That's longer than most Hollywood marriages. Wade breaks through the force field and finds the Big Bad Corporation trying to find the right Atari game to get the final key, thinking it's adventure.
And you don't find it by winning. You find it by wandering around in a dark room.
Of course, the game is E.T., but nobody could bring themselves to play it even once. Wade figures out that it is adventure, but the way to win is to find the Easter egg in the game.
It's not about winning. It's about playing.
Wrong. The answer was go outside and fuck someone! Jesus! He makes it to the end, but the van they're in is being attacked by the Big Bad Corporation. Ah, the fantasy virtual world. Nothing like this realistic, grounded universe clearly being represented right now.
Now you just sign these papers and the Oasis is yours.
Halliday offers him a contract to sign while a kung fu fight takes place. I'm sorry, which one's reality again? But wait, this is something only a suit would do, man!
This pen, this contract, this can't be the end. I won't make the same mistake you did.
I will develop my own personality, not pathetically obsess over another. Just kidding, he obsesses over it more.
This is where you grew up.
So now is the time for you to receive your prize because you won all 3 keys.
It's a suppository. You have to shove it up your ass in order to win the game. Sorrento approaches the van, but everybody watching tries to defend Wade. Oh, yeah, a trailer park in Ohio, and there's no guns. Here's how the scene would really play out. He opens the van to discover it's too late. It's funny. Nothing really special is said here. He literally just says reality is real.
Reality is real.
But one of Spielberg's strengths is he creates such a warm environment that it feels like something special is happening.
Is Halliday really dead?
Yes.
Then what are you?
Thanks for playing my game.
The writer was too lazy to answer that, but we're basically shooting a scene in a scented candle, so it'll feel fulfilling.
How'd you get here so fast?
I flew from the stars on my magic sleigh.
Wade meets the co-creator of the Oasis, played by Simon Pegg, who gives the best performance of the movie simply by doing a convincing American accent. Hey, it's one of the only illusions I actually buy in this film.
You know, Jim used to say the Oasis was never supposed to be a one-player game.
Ironic, seeing how this was called Ready Player One. They split the handling of the Oasis between the 5 of them, shut down the loyalty centers, and even turned off the Oasis every Tuesday and Thursday.
People need to spend more time in the real world. Reality is the only thing that's real.
Yay! I just watched a 2.5-hour movie to be told I should be spending more time in the real world! The real world, where it doesn't matter how beautiful you are in your fantasy, as long as you're actually beautiful in life as well. But at least years of memorizing quotes and obsessing over that fantasy is ultimately rewarded, completely going against your bullshit lesson. Yeah, this makes no sense. And that was Ready Player One, and yeah, okay, I can't say it's a bad movie because there are some really impressive elements. Getting all these characters together, even if they don't include their actual personalities, is kinda neat. And no doubt, a nightmare in copyright hell to pull off. Despite there being too much CG, it is still good CG. And there are some of those occasional moments of wonder, like with The Shining and the ending. Aside from that though, everything else isn't bad, it's just underwhelming. If you just want to tell a dumb adventure, fine. If you really want to make a film about something, fine. But you have to lean hard into one or the other because I don't think you understand how to do both with this. Films like Spider-Verse, Roger Rabbit, Lego Movie, and Wreck-It Ralph, they knew how to convey people and dilemmas we could relate to, so it could go big with the crossovers and crazy ideas because it was anchored by something we emotionally recognized. The characters are emotionally pushed to the limit as well as physically pushed to the limit. Nobody seems challenged in this movie, so nobody is allowed to grow. And if you want to be deep and meaningful like you're conveying in so many scenes, that's essential. What if Artemis was a 300-pound guy in his mom's basement? What if Wade did have to confront he has no identity because he's too addicted to media? Hell, just tell me why he likes Superman the movie instead of just acknowledging he likes it. Any of that would have been enough. But instead, it plays it safe, hoping your nostalgia will fill in the essentials. It's the same for these various franchise characters. By having them just be avatars and not the actual characters, sure, you won't offend any fan bases, but you won't win them over either, because you're not taking any risk or responsibility for them. With Spider-Verse and Wreck-It Ralph and so forth, you know the writers and directors knew these characters, their personalities, where they came from. I don't think Spielberg knew who half of these characters were, because it's in a story where he doesn't have to prove it, so it doesn't feel as personal or special. I guess I'm glad I saw this movie for some of the cooler moments, but if you want your story to be talked about years later, you have to tell a great story instead of acknowledging you can recognize a great story.
Speaking of being challenged, Critic, we have a special surprise for you.
Oh, Hyper, I've told you, I've accepted you for the Quasimodo you are.
Well, thanks for telling me that, Critic.
Well, I didn't tell you that, I told Hyper.
Exactly.
Do you remember saying that the characters should be challenged with their loved ones being a different sex?
Maybe.
Well, we set it up so that Benny was Hyper Fun Girl's avatar the whole time.
No.
Yes.
But I heard your voice.
It's not so hard when you practice.
But we were in love, we had a thing, we had to,
I'll leave you two lovebirds alone. I'm sure you have a lot of growing to do.
Like I said, changes lead to growth.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine there's a lot to figure out here.
Mm-hmm.
Want to quote some random shit and never talk about our feelings?
Sure.
Okay, I learned something from this movie.
You killed my mom's sister.
Hey, Doug Walker here doing the charity shout out, and this week we are doing Golden House. This is a comprehensive domestic violence program serving victims in Brown County, Wisconsin. As a private nonprofit founded in 1979, they respond to the needs of victims and educate their community on the prevalence, effects, and prevention of domestic abuse. Their mission is to provide safety and support for victims of domestic abuse while leading efforts to end domestic violence in the community. With a 4-star rating on Charity Navigator, this is a really, really good one to check out. If you look at their website, you can see all the good that they do there. Really go check them out. If you can donate to them, that'd be fantastic. If not, just spread the word. Like I said, these are people just doing really, really good work and trying to help so many, and they deserve as much attention as possible. So please check them out, and I'll see you next time. Take care.